Hey Max and Philip, Christoph here. I want to give feedback on the Lexe beta test. Thank you for inviting me. This might be a little bit long, but I just try to be thorough. So I captured all of the screens that I went through yesterday and today. I had a little bit of a break because I made an on-chain transaction, set it to the lowest fee rate, so it took me overnight to actually get it confirmed so I could open a channel. But yeah, thanks. The app looks great. You clearly have done a lot of work there. Still some stuff to iron out. That's what beta test's for, and hopefully my feedback here can help you. So these are just screenshots from test flight. I don't always read it right when I go through it, but I take screenshots. So if I want to come back to it later, it's kind of easy, and I captured my whole experience. The intro. I was kind of confused. I liked the effect how you slide over and the mysterious fog animates, but in terms of why mysterious fog, I wasn't quite sure. It's like, is there something mysterious happening here? Not sure. It's a cool effect, but not sure it really helps communicate, like, a top-notch lightning payments, I don't know, whatever you want to communicate. I think the features, what's being described here, you may also need to adjust over time. This could be a little bit more like, this copy here on the left could be something that directly speaks to the user a little bit more. Welcome to the only Lightning wallet you'll ever need, or the one that works for you, or whatever it is. But I don't think that's a huge deal right now. And I think speaking with regular users, not people like me, will point you in to the right words. Clicked, I have a Lexe wallet just to see what happens, went back, went to create a wallet. This process was pretty smooth. I think connecting to Drive, I also did it on Android. I had to try 2-3 times until it worked and was not quite sure what happened, but on iPhone it was pretty smooth. Then I had an issue with sign-up code because there was, this is the screenshot from the email. I tried to type it in, and this is a capital I, which I read as a lowercase l, so maybe just don't include those characters in the code. Because it gave me this error here caused by nothing. So I wasn't quite sure, and I kind of by accident found out, because I tried again later where I copy-pasted, I didn't manually type the code, and then it worked, and figured out what the difference was. So that worked. That was pretty smooth. Then I got to the home screen. And this is something, the feedback I've given a few times. I know it's super common when you enter a wallet, you're all set up, you take it to the home screen, and you just show zero balance. You give people access to the buttons, or you disable stuff in the transaction history. You say, well, nothing to see here. But if you think about it, there's only one thing the person can actually do. Well, two things: they can go to settings and change stuff. But the real primary action is make a deposit. So in here, I could scan an invoice, I could go to the send flow, but I cannot use those because I cannot send anything. I don't have any funds. So I could go and scan a QR code and then, or an invoice, and then I get errors. So how about doing this is a Ethereum or Web3 whatever wallet called Rainbow, and this one to the right is called Dharma, which is like a 5-year-old screenshot. I don't think it exists anymore. And this is what they do. Instead of giving you the full kind of home screen UI with things disabled or options to go into kind of dead ends, just say like, hey, first you need to get funds. You need to make a deposit to get started, show a QR code, show an address, whatever you need to show in order to get people. Because with it, if I can buy an empty wallet at a store, I can put it in my pocket. I can go to the grocery store and then try to pay something, but my wallet's empty. Not going to be helpful. So maybe just telling people, add your first funds. There's going to be a small fee for this first one, and it's going to give you, it's going to bump up your limit so you can send receive up to 100, whatever. Yeah, so just actually, I guess one more onboarding step is what this would be. And then you don't have to, kind of show a mostly disabled home screen. Otherwise, I just kind of poked around different things, all these empty screens here that I couldn't really do anything. Like I could open a Lightning channel without having an on-chain balance, poked around, typed in huge amounts. This is what the error message looks like. Here it gets a bit cut off. Maybe that should be multi-line. Here also I tried to enter the highest amount I could, which then resulted in the QR code never being rendering. Emoji did work. Otherwise, I found all the screens to be pretty nice and clean. Easy to navigate. I'm not sure you need this little expando here. That's pretty big, and if it expands the sections below, I'm wondering maybe you could move this lightning on chain, move that in this white box, so it just feels like you're expanding this whole box. And maybe this you don't need this outline here. It's just like a little caret icon. Now here you can already see throughout the experience I had to use the refresh button quite a few times, and I saw various discrepancies. Here I did receive 100 sats from LB Home or LB Hub, their cloud offering, the hosted node, but it did not show up in the balance. Then I went in here, I still cannot send anything, but I can already receive, and I did believe I pressed the refresh button there a couple times already. So I did see that the channel here was opened. I do think there's some work to be done here around streamlining this screen here. For example, receive up to, my first reading was I can receive up to $43, and without miner fee I can receive 49,000 sats. So I was like, why are there two different things? But when in reality, this is one statement, receive up to without miner fee, and then it's shown in two different ones. I'm also not sure you need the big on-chain balance here. Someone else also mentioned that there's a reuse of these icons here for open and close. It could probably be different ones. There's also, open and close. Is this now, am I opening and closing on-chain balance, or what am I opening and closing? So I think there's a bit of work to do here to kind of streamline and simplify. I do like the focus here on send up to and receive up to, where you basically have send limits, which is basically your balance. That's pretty straightforward. You send, and then you have less that you can send. Very simple. I know there's channel reserve and stuff, so a little bit of discrepancy there. Then receive up to, I think that's kind of the main thing where people might run into, where all of a sudden they have these fees because they need a new channel, or splice happens, or whatever happens. That's kind of the one probably that people maybe need to keep an eye on initially until they're at a kind of a liquidity situation that they're comfortable with. But yeah, not sure you need the words channels, the term. I'm also not a huge fan of the term on-chain, and then using on-chain BTC, but then you have the word sats everywhere. This is really a lot of refinement work here that's pretty sensitive. It's not easy to go through, but it's a beta, right? So you have you can iterate and test and see what works best for you. So this is just, because I didn't see the balance here, I went to payment details, wanted to make sure it's all, it was there, and so I got that. I was surprised that there was a 0 sats fee. It was nice to see, but I was kind of surprised. I did try to route again. I forgot what happened here. Something didn't work. I think it was trying LB again. Then I tried to make a few more transactions. Here I did receive another 1,000 sats that worked smoothly. It was reflected in the balance. Took another peek at my Lightning channels, and here I could still only send up to 100 sats, even though the balance showed 1,100. Tested descriptions, that worked well. There's a really minor thing. You can see the character, these senders are getting slightly cut off. Maybe the input field is a little bit too tight in the height here. Everything worked great. I don't know why I put this one in here again. Probably accidentally pasted it. Then I did a channel close. I found this one to be a little bit confusing. At first I thought, okay, the bottom one is the total, just like you see in a receipt. Like this is item 1, item 2, and then there's like the total. And I was like, okay, what this is. And then there's no miner fee. I was surprised by that too. How's my how am I doing this transaction without minor fees? So, and then Lightning, maybe there should be a minus here. So we're subtracting 1150 sats from Lightning, and then we're plussing it on-chain. Maybe Lightning and on-chain can be below each other with an arrow kind of pointing out or indicating that it's moving from one to the other. And then the fee is just kind of below. For the service of moving funds from this one thing to the other thing, we are charging, this fee is being charged. Or if, let's say, you subsidize it, you could even point that out as a benefit, like where we're saying, this one's on us, or so we're paying the minor fee, so makes Lexe look awesome. Confirm channel close, I think, not sure why I had the same one here. Then I did close it, and stuff was gone. So I did press refresh here, I think, too. So the closing transaction, it just never seemed to appear in the whole interface. That could be scary there for users. Went to the home screen, it was also not visible, so all of a sudden I have 0 balance, I have nothing, and I don't see anything in my transaction history either. Then, I'm not sure what I did here, and then it starts showing up. Yeah, then later on, I forgot how much, 2 minutes later here, the funds show up, but it still does not show me that I made a transfer. So I do think it could be helpful for people to understand, like, oh, okay, I made this transfer 2 minutes ago. So they can keep track of things a little bit. Here is, what did I try to do? I tried to open, oh yeah, an error message here, channel value is below limit. Maybe if I don't have enough funds to actually open a Lightning channel, maybe you can just tell me right away instead of letting me type in an amount and then getting this error. Like, you can just tell me you don't have enough funds. And then what did I do here? I made this on-chain payment. That's the one that I set to 1 sat per vbyte. So it took overnight. So I was just waiting, receiving payment. Interestingly, here between the screen on the left, I'm receiving payment, whether in this screen or in that screen, it is not confirmed. It's still in the mempool. But on the right one, it shows up at the top, but at the bottom, it says still receiving. So yeah, no, I'm not quite sure. At this point, it may have already been confirmed, but it still says that it's pending. So either way, there was some discrepancy here. Then I opened a Lightning channel. Here there was a minor fee. Yeah, I already mentioned comments on this one. Then it did the work. Then I saw the channel. I think that one showed up right away. You can kind of see in the timestamp at the top. You can see I'm listening to Stefan Livera podcast in the background. That was the one about Lana, which we have a design review today. Yeah, this was interesting. I still have the on-chain balance here at the bottom, and then I do have the channel that's pending. But really, the balance is already locked up in this channel creation here. Yeah, then while for a short period of time, I did have the balance showed both the funds that I had in on-chain and the funds that I had in the channel just being opened right now. So you can see there are 20,000 sats here. And then once that process was completed, the channel opened, then it showed 10,000. So a little bit more of a discrepancy there in the balance display. So yeah, I'm sure that stuff is not easy to make work smoothly. Hopefully it's just all some, UI state management, some minor stuff, and nothing to do with the hard parts that you were building, Node in the cloud, all of these things. I did also try to set it up on Android. That's where I tried to import the wallet, and it just had problems with, I was able to connect to Google Drive, but then I kept getting errors. I can give you a screenshot of what that was. But there was also a similar error to this one where it said there was a problem. but it couldn't tell me why cost by was empty here. So that is it. I hope it was helpful. I do know that how to present Lightning and the Bitcoin network in the UI is a very complex thing. That might be something to kind of try to smoothen out over time, as long as with these balance discrepancy issues and also the initial deposit where people know very clearly what the first thing is that they should be doing. Those are probably kind of the biggest things. Hope it's helpful. Let me know. And thanks again for having me test it.